Will JMU be able to handle Wisconsin's size? It's Locked On Sunbelt.
You are Locked On Sunbelt, your daily podcast on the Sunbelt Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, Dave Schultz, Locked On Sunbelt, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Nissan. Our friends at Nissan have a lineup of SUVs with the capabilities to take your adventure to the next level. Take the Nissan Rogue, Nissan Pathfinder, or Nissan Armada and go find your next big adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. All right, we will go over baseball. We'll preview some baseball coming up. Texas State heading to Harrisonburg. Troy hosts South Alabama. All of a sudden, the Jags have lost 4 straight. And Old Dominion is invading Lafayette. But let's go over the basketball. We'll get to JMU here in a minute. Right? App State loses to Wake Forest. And I'm recording this after Oakland beats Kentucky. And I think we see... I don't think it's I don't think you need a super genius to figure this out. But if you're going to give up something in size, you have to be able to hit the 3-pointers. If you go through the stats of Wake and App State, they're really relatively even except one spot. They both shot under 50%, but over 45%. App made 7 3-pointers. Wake made 6. App made 31 field goals. Wake made 28. Rebounds, Wake 39 to 31. A little bit of a difference, but not a huge difference. Turnovers, App had 10. Wake had 4. Points in the paint, surprisingly, App 44 to Wake 34. The big difference in this game was free throws. App was 7 out of 8. Wake was 25 of 31. That's obviously the difference in the ball game. What is that? An 18-point difference, and Wake beats App 87 to 76. So huge difference there from the free throw line, right? They even attempted, 23 more free throws. Okay, not going to get into the calls. I'm just saying that's what it is. Okay, so App's got to do better than 7 out of 27 from the 3, right? They had a bunch of open shots from 3. All right. And I will say they got down. They were down by more than double digits, in the first half. They pulled within 9. They got it to 49-48. They made a run, and then they didn't. And then it was kind of over, right? Harcum 4 of 11 from 3. He hit 4 of the 7 threes. Gregory 0 for 2. Huntley 2 for 5. Tate 1 for 6. Mantis 0 for 2. You have to be able to hit the threes. And if you can't do that, that's what's going to happen. So now you fast forward to JMU, and they're going to have to hit threes. And it's probably going to have to be more than just Noah Friedel and Terrence Edwards. The thing is, though, how does Wisconsin defend the 3? And they don't defend it very well. Opponents shoot the highest rate in the tournament, and that's Wisconsin. Of all the teams in the tournament, Wisconsin has the worst 3-point field goal defense. It's almost like 38%. So teams are almost hitting 4 out of 10. And that is the way that JMU has to win this ball game. I did get some comments. Let me see if I can find the comments really quickly, see if this cannot go and start listening to my but I did have a comment here that basically said the issue with JMU is getting into issues with bigger guys. And that is the problem. All right. So some comments, Greg Cottrell, some comments on JMU. Xavier Brown is a sophomore. I think I said he was a freshman, but I think I was referring to what Mark Byington said, but okay. And has been the starting point guard since midseason. JMU regularly plays 9 players. Julian Wooden has stepped up with 3 since when Friedel and Edwards have been doubled. JMU's biggest weakness on offense is playing against shot blockers. Edwards and Bickerstaff really struggled against rim protectors like Abson, who's a really good one, from App State. All right, and so the thing we talked about with Ryan Pairings from Locked On Wisconsin, or Locked On Badgers, excuse me, is that they have some bigger guys, legit 6'11", 7-foot guys that, can dominate, although he's mentioned that they have also disappeared at times, which is a little bit odd, right? If you can't get motivated it doesn't matter if it's the Final Four or the national championship, you can't get motivated to play in the NCAA tournament, there may be something wrong with you. So this is where JMU is going to have to win it. And let me see if we have stats on JMU. Can JMU make 10 threes? That's what I'm looking for. When you start getting into that double digits of threes, you're really tough to beat. Let's see if we got an average per game 8.8. So they don't make a whole lot, but that's the average. So sometimes it's going to be less, right? And you just got to make almost more than one to be in that. Also, remember, they were leading most of their games, right? They weren't behind in very many games late, so they're not heaving threes either. So that's the key, that JMU has to hit above their average to be in this ball game. If they're going to give up the size, and I'm taking exactly what Charles Barkley said after the Kentucky game, if you have the size, you need to dominate because and he basically said the three-pointer has negated that size. And what we saw from Oakland, the kid hitting 10 threes. I don't think, Friedel needs to hit 10 threes. I'm saying JMU, although in Oakland's case, they basically needed those 10 threes. The team has to hit 10 threes. And if they got 9 guys for depth-wise, that's not going to be an issue outside of foul trouble and if someone gets banged up. You never know. So this is the key to the game. JMU needs to get hot, and they need to be hot from the outset. We'll see if Wisconsin gets into an up and down. If they try to go up and down, JMU can, again, they do a good job of moving the ball. The players move. It does not stay stationary. We heard Mark Byington say after the championship game in the Sun Belt, it was Xavier Brown and Jalen Carey mostly doing all the heavy lifting. But in the second half, it was much more of a team effort where everybody was moving and the ball was moving and the ball found the open guy, which was usually Terrence Edwards or Friedel or Bickerstaff, as it turns out in the second half of that game. All right, still like it. I did lose money on the App State ball game. We'll try to make it up with the JMU game, but that's the key to the game. It doesn't take a super genius to figure that out. That if Wisconsin's going to have the edge inside, JMU has to hit it outside. At the same time, Wisconsin's whole defensive mindset, for the most part, is we got to locate the shooters. And we'll see how Wisconsin does if their bigs can handle JMU's bigs on their own. If they can handle JMU's bigs on their own, there's no need to double team. Whereas that may be what JMU does, and can Wisconsin hit the threes if they do double team? Or as Ryan Perrin said, there could be cutters to the basket to get layups. But I think the key is, can JMU make the shots from beyond the arc? And, as I think it was Steve Lapis, the former Villanova coach, just the longer you stay in those upset modes, the tougher it gets. And I think that's what we've been talking about here, at least in the comments. A lot of people picking JMU, but still the pressure is on Wisconsin because they're the Power 5 team. They're expected to win. They're favored. That will start to get in their heads. Although, Kentucky made it a 1-point game. The different kid from Oakland, made a corner 3. It was a 1-point game. Reed Shepherd came down and tried a long 3. That seemed to be odd with about 25 seconds left, but say levy. All right, I'm still picking JMU. Let's go Sunbelt. Being a homer, don't care. All right, when we come back, we'll preview baseball this weekend in the Sunbelt. We will do that. Should be interesting after I tell you about Manscaped. This episode is brought to you by the spring cleaning champions, Manscaped. This season, make sure to groom your carpets and the drapes with the leaders in the below-waist grooming. Clear out that winter bush with Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0 and watch your confidence bloom like the springtime flowers. Embrace the season and join the 10 million men worldwide who trusted Manscaped with our special offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off plus free shipping. Their 5th generation trimmer features 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads. Standard one for taking a little off the top and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. It also features dual LED spotlights to guide you through the darkest winter debris. Navigate with confidence in your delicate areas. Hate making a mess? Not to worry. This bad boy is waterproof. Shave in the shower, in the bath. Love this thing because it comes with a compact case. I take it with me wherever I go. Spring cleaning doesn't just apply to nether regions. Get the full grooming experience with Manscaped's signature Beard Hedger Pro Kit and Handyman Electric Face Shaver. Whether you're looking to craft your signature look or clean up the neckline, these are always the right tools for the job. Get 20% off and free shipping with code LOCKEDON at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code LOCKEDON at manscaped.com. Nothing like a little spring cleaning in your pants. And game time. Shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. All-in prices show your total up front, so you know you're getting a great deal before you check out. Buy tickets in seconds with 2 taps. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, Dave Schultz, Locked On Sunbelt, your team every day. Let's check out the, you know what? Let's check out the standings first as we're heading into week 2 of the Sunbelt Conference competition, right? We had a couple of teams sweep. A lot of teams won the series. Some teams lost, and a couple got swept. So Southern Miss swept Marshall, and Georgia State swept South Alabama. And so Southern Miss 3-0, 14-7 overall. Georgia State 3-0. They're 11-10 overall. That's got to be a little bit of a disappointing scenario for South Alabama. Coastal Carolina took care of JMU, 17-4 on the season, and that just includes a recent loss to NC State. Troy 2-1. They're 15-7. Cajuns 2-1. Couple come from behind victories at Arkansas State. They're 13-8. Old Dominion, same exact record, 2-1, 13-8. Texas State and Slam Marcos, 2-1, 12-9 though. App State's 1-2, 13-6. James Madison 1-2, 13-8. ULM 1-2, 12-9. Arkansas State 1-2, 13-10. Georgia Southern a surprising 9-11. They're 1-2 after losing 2 out of 3 at Old Dominion. And as we mentioned, South Alabama and Marshall both 0-3. South Alabama 12-9. They have lost 4 straight. So that 12-5 record looked a lot better last week. Marshall struggling despite the new stadium. They are 6-14. Okay, checking out this the games at least a little bit. Let's see what the schedule is. Seeing if there's any major matchups, and I guess a couple of them. You do have Texas State heading to James Madison. Let's check out. Let's get the Warren Nolan up here. See where we are, because I think James Madison still has a pretty good RPI heading into this weekend, and I think James Madison's 11. And it's gone down to. So James Madison smack dab in the middle of Kentucky and Notre Dame. Although, is Notre Dame 0-6 in the ACC? Yeesh. But James Madison is number 11 in Warren Nolan. And Coastal 19. But let's get to Texas State. Let's see, because a couple of these teams were really low. Well, this is the best way to do that actually is if you just click on it, it'll tell you. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So James Madison taking on Texas State. Texas State's 93. Let's see if I presume that's gone up a little bit. Let's see where that is. Heading into the weekend, Texas State is up 9. So they were 102. So they weren't great to begin with. We'll see how some of these RPIs, if you will, improve, because that was a big deal in the basketball, right? And so we shall see. Certainly playing JMU and Coastal are going to help teams. That's absolutely going to be the case. All right, we'll get to the Cajuns. Cajuns, they're 71. They've gone up 2 this week. They did not. They played Southern and McNeese, so they're not going to move too much. But remember, 2 weeks ago, they were 236. Heading into Saturday's game against Tulane, they were 236. So they've improved a lot. Old Dominion is sitting there at 69. So nice. So it won't hurt the Cajuns this week. So you do have Texas State heading to Harrisonburg to take on the Dukes. Let's go over one other series. Let's see where we are here. Well, let's do. You have Coastal Carolina taking on App State. So App State has a chance to move up a little bit. What did I say? I just said they were 86, and they're taking on Coastal, probably right now the best team in the Sun Belt. I'm not sure if there's a probably about it. I think they are the best team in the Sun Belt. Oh, let's see what Blake Barthol's numbers are, right? Because we did not see those last week. They don't update the stats, unfortunately, over the weekend. So let me see. I got the schedule here. Let me see if we got stats, because he's having like a ridiculous season, right? Blake Barthol, 372, 12 home runs, and 32 RBI. He struck out 19 times in 78 at-bats, but he's been hit by 10 pitches and walked 17 times. He has an OPS of 1456. That's outrageously good. Total bases, 72. On-base percentage of .533. He's on base twice a game. Only has 3 stolen bases in 3 attempts. So he's not stealing too much. But he is out in front, among others, to be your early Sun Belt player of the year. Whether you can keep up hitting 372 or whatever the case is, you somewhere along the way they're gonna pitch around him. But 12 home runs, 32 RBI, and already 35 runs scored in just 21 games. Oh my! All right, so that'll be a big matchup for App State. Can they control or just hope to contain him? Blake Barthol and Coastal Carolina. All right, let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll do the rest of the Sun Belt schedule. You do have Troy hosting South Alabama and the Cajuns hosting ODU. Let me tell you about Nissan. This week's March Madness Bracket Highlight is brought to you by our friends at Nissan. Timely, the Oregon Ducks are obviously this week's Nissan Rogue. The team absolutely surprised us all with a powerful performance in the final Pac-12 tournament, punching their ticket to the big dance. They say win life, go Rogue, and that's exactly what the Ducks have done here. And then they come up with a big win over the SEC's South Carolina. Take the Nissan Rogue, Nissan Pathfinder, or Nissan Armada and go find your next big adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. And Lafayette Travel. Escape to Lafayette, Louisiana, the happiest city in America, where every visit is uniquely seasoned with unforgettable experiences. Savor world-class cuisine, including mouth-watering boudin, savory gumbo, and piping hot crawfish, seasoned to perfection. Experience lively festivals that celebrate Lafayette's one-of-a-kind heritage. Explore magnificent trails that lead you through our rich cultural history and breathtaking natural beauty. Discover the untouched purity of our cypress and Tupelo swamps, where you can paddle past nesting birds and sunbathing alligators. Immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms of Cajun and Zydeco music that can be heard any night of the week. Whether your passion is for their rich cultural history, the bustling culinary scene, or the distinctive blend of Cajun and Zydeco music, the happiest city in America has something for everyone. Start planning your adventure at LafayetteTravel.com/seasoned. All right, Dave Schultz, Lockdown Sunbelt, your team every day. Good chance we'll be doing I don't know about live. Probably not live. But we'll have a post JMU episode for Saturday. I don't think live. We got the Cajuns game, and then I'll be able to come home and watch the game. I don't know if we can do a live one. Maybe we do a live one. We'll just hop on there and do a live post-game show. I'll just be sitting here. I am getting up early-ish Saturday morning. There's a bourbon raffle. I'm number 9 out of 50. I could get something good. Okay, back to the Sunbelt and the baseball. Dave Schultz, Lockdown Sunbelt, your team every day. All right, elsewhere, as we mentioned, Troy hosting South Alabama. Tough spot for my guy Mark Kelby's Jags, trying to right themselves against Troy in Troy. Not easy. You know, you're after last week, you're hoping just to win one. If you're South Alabama, Troy would certainly take 2 out of 3 winning a series. Can South Alabama bounce back and compete for the series? We shall see. The Cajuns taking on Old Dominion. Still don't know what to make of the Cajuns. They have their third rotation-ish. So Herman starting Friday. He's moving up. Chase Morgan is going to Sunday, and Carson Fluno is going to Saturday. So they've had 21 lineups in 21 games, and now, what is this, the 6th weekend of the season? Can I do it off the top of my head? Let's see here. Wright State, Rice, Houston, Tulane, and Arkansas State. 5? Let me see. And if that's the case, they have their third weekend rotation. So it is a work in process. The Cajuns, let me say, get that right. Wright State, Rice, Houston, Tulane. I was right. Okay. So in 6 weekends, they have their third rotation. I will say Chase Morgan is pitching much better. Jack Martinez is pitching much better over the last couple weeks, for sure. Maybe a little bit too big for themselves early on. One a freshman, one coming from Division III. So we shall see. Bats are coming around. Exploded against Southern in the 7th inning. And then I did what they had to do against McNeese. McNeese tied it up, and they got 5 straight hits with 2 outs. Again, we went over that, I think. Maybe we didn't. McNeese had bases loaded, nobody out, scored 1 run. The Cajuns had 2 outs, nobody on, and scored 3 runs. Difference in the game. Still trying to figure the Cajuns out. I'm not sure. The bats are definitely coming around overall. Josh Alexander's coming around between Jose Torres and Clay Wargo. The catching position is getting much more production than I think anybody thought they were going to. Pastore can hit. John Taylor's coming around. DeBarge has like a 12-game hitting streak. Connor Higgs had a big base hit. They need to improve their defense, and we'll see what's going to happen with his starting pitching. He may just go openers. Like, we're going to go like 50, 60 pitches. Because so far, the Cajuns have one win from their starting pitcher on a weekend. One. And that was Carson Fluno against Rice. And I think he only went 5 innings in. So they do not have a lot of wins when they're starting pitching. And they can't seem to get to 100 pitches, which if you can't get there, don't force it and figure it out. They have a lot of arms. All right. They do. They have a lot of arms. So we'll see what happens this weekend here at the Teague. All right. Elsewhere, Arkansas State and Marshall going at it. Marshall earlier this week did take it on the chin from West Virginia. They played them in each spot, Morgantown and in Huntington. Nice of West Virginia to do that. Marshall did take it on the chin. Georgia Southern. All right. Now they are at home. They're taking on Southern Miss. Not easy, but they're at home. And, can they bounce back after they lost 2 out of 3 to ODU? All right. And ULM is at Georgia State. Friday morning ball game. That's either a noon game or 11 a.m. Wow. I don't know if I just get the Central Time or not, but that is that's an early ball game. Can Georgia State carry that momentum that they had with them after sweeping South Alabama? It is a noon ball game. So it is noon on a Friday. They're playing early, noon on Friday, 3 p.m. on Saturday, 1 p.m. on Sunday. So they got an early ball game against ULM on Friday. All right. So a little day baseball for you. Bring the phones and watch basketball as well. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hadn't even looked. Where are we? Sorry, I didn't do an episode for today. Are we still at let me see here. We were at 1165 the last time I checked. And let's see what we got here. Are we up there more? We got some more comments, your videos. Let's see here. Dashboard. We're still 1165. We didn't do one. We did not do one yesterday. I apologize. But we'll do a bonus one for Saturday in JMU. All right. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Enjoy the basketball. Enjoy the baseball. Enjoy the softball. We still got to get into that as well. I'm your host, Dave Schultz, and you've been watching Locked On Sunbelt, your team every day,